You walk onto the dealership lot. The bright lights bounce off the polished paint. You smell the expensive leather, the fresh plastic, and the illusion of success. You see that massive new pickup truck or that sleek luxury SUV. You sit behind the wheel, and suddenly your boring life feels just a little bit better. The salesman slides over, smiling like a shark. You see the sticker, $70,000. Your stomach drops. He smells blood and delivers the deadliest lie in finance. Forget the total price. Let's talk monthly payments. I can do $800 a month. You exhale. $800? Well, if I cut back on eating out a bit, I can probably swing it. You sign the papers, grab the keys, drive off the lot, and think you've arrived. Listen to me very carefully. You haven't arrived anywhere except a maximum security financial prison. You didn't just buy a car. You voluntarily locked yourself into a 7-year ball and chain. I am Trench Dog. On this channel, we don't whine about the unfairness of capitalism. We learn to survive in the economic meat grinder. I'm going to show you the exact mechanics of the most destructive wealth trap in America. A trap that catches 80% of people. The 84-month car loan. I am going to show you how dealers hack your brain and how your desperate need to look rich is keeping you dead broke. Let's talk about reality. The system is engineered to keep you dependent. 30 years ago, a standard car loan was maxed out at 36 months, 3 years. That made mathematical sense. But then corporate greed took over. Cars stopped costing $15,000 and shot up to $50,000, $70,000, $100,000. Meanwhile, your salary barely moved. So how do they trick an average guy making $60,000 a year into buying a $70,000 vehicle? Simple. They hide the real price and stretch out the timeline. First, they introduced 48-month loans, then 60, then 72, and now 84-month contracts are the industry standard. Some absolute lunatics are even signing 96-month papers. Think about that. 84 months is 7 full years. 7 years of your life tied to a block of metal, plastic, and wires that starts dying the second you turn the ignition. When you sign that paper, you are combining the two most toxic financial forces in the universe, predatory interest rates and massive asset depreciation. Let's break down exactly how the trap snaps shut using real numbers. Let's say you buy a car for $60,000. In 2026, the average interest rate for a standard borrower is hovering around 9%. You take an 84-month loan with zero money down because the dealer told you, keep your cash in your pocket, why spend it? Your payment comes out to roughly $965 a month. The exact second your tires roll off that dealer's lot, the car loses 10% to 15% of its value. You drive 1 block, and your $60,000 truck is now worth $51,000. But you know what didn't vanish? Your debt. You still owe the bank the full $60,000 plus interest. By the end of those endless 7 years, you won't just pay the bank $60,000. Factoring in that 9% rate, you will hand them an extra $21,000 in pure interest. Grand total? $81,000 for that vehicle. And what will that car actually be worth after 7 years of daily driving, rock chips, and worn-out brakes? If you're lucky, $20,000. You paid $81,000 for something that is now worth $20,000. You voluntarily set $61,000 on fire just to look cool at a red light. But it gets worse. Let's look at the brutal math of time. Nobody drives the same car for 7 years anymore. 3 years go by. The new car smell is gone, the driver's seat is worn in, and the warranty is expired. You're sick of the payments, or maybe your neighbor just bought a newer model and your ego starts itching. You take the car back to the dealer for a trade-in. The dealer inspects it and says, "Great, we'll give you $28,000 for it." You smile, but then you look at your loan statement. Because you stretched it to 84 months, you spent the first few years mostly paying off interest, not the principal. You find out you still owe the bank $40,000. Congratulations, rookie. You are now what bankers cynically call underwater. You have negative equity. And what does the dealer do? He slaps your back and says, "No problem. We'll just take that $12,000 of negative equity and roll it into the loan for your next car." You are literally trapped. You buy a new $50,000 car, but your new loan balance is $62,000. You are paying for your old car, which you don't even drive anymore, and your new car at the exact same time. It turns into an unstoppable snowball of debt that drags you straight to the financial bottom. I can hear your excuses through the screen right now. But dog, you don't get it. I need a reliable car to get to work. I need modern backup cameras and safety features for my family. I work hard. I deserve something nice. Let's do a reality check. You don't need a luxury 3-ton tank for $70,000 to safely commute to your cubicle. You want it for one simple reason. You care what people you don't even know think about you. Real wealth is quiet. Debt is always loud. That guy revving the newest BMW in the next lane is probably one missed paycheck away from bankruptcy. Meanwhile, the stealth millionaire with $1.5 million sitting in his brokerage account is quietly driving right next to him in a 10-year-old Honda. Every time you send nearly $1,000 to the bank for a depreciating piece of metal, you are robbing your own future. Imagine if, instead of a $965 car payment, you bought a reliable used car with a $300 payment. And the difference, $665, you ruthlessly and fanatically invested into the S&P 500 every single month at a historical 10% return. Do you know how much you'd have after those same 7 years? Almost $80,000 in cold, hard cash. The choice is yours. $80,000 of appreciating assets in your account, or a rusting bucket and a balance of zero. So how do you actually buy a car without derailing your life? Write these rules down and do not break them. First, erase the phrase monthly payment from your vocabulary. When the finance manager asks what you want to pay a month, you look him in the eye and say, "I only care about the total out-the-door price." If you have to stretch a loan past 36 months just to afford the monthly payment, you cannot afford the car, period. Turn around and walk out. Second, use the golden rule of smart money, the 20/3/8 rule, the number 20. You always put down a minimum of 20% of the car's purchase price in cash. Why? Because it instantly covers that drive-off-the-lot depreciation. You will never be underwater. The number 3. You finance a car for a maximum of 3 years, 36 months. If you can't pay it off in 3 years, take the bus. The number 8. Your monthly car payment cannot exceed 8% of your gross monthly income before taxes. And what if the math on the 20/3/8 rule doesn't work out? Then you swallow your pride, open up Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, and buy a 7-year-old Toyota, Mazda, or Honda for cash. It will get you from point A to point B just fine. The AC will work. It will play your music. But most importantly, it won't suck the lifeblood out of your net worth. We don't take out loans to stroke our egos. We build bulletproof wealth. Let's summarize the survival strategy. First, wake up and realize that an 84-month car loan is legalized robbery. Second, stop falling for the finance manager's monthly payment trap. Third, calculate the opportunity cost. The car feeds your ego today, but it eats your freedom tomorrow. Let compound interest work for your investments, not against you on a depreciating liability. You don't need to drive a 6-figure vehicle to prove you are successful. You just need financial discipline, a cold head, and the refusal to be a cash cow for the banking system. If this briefing pulled you out of the illusion, don't just sit there. I need activity from my troops. Drop down into the comments and tell me honestly, man to man, how many months is your current car loan, and what is your monthly payment? Let's face reality together. We're all in the same trench here. Hit the like button to break through the algorithm and save other rookies from the dealerships. This was Trench Dog. Make your money work before it forces you to work forever.